Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Barbara and I are so thrilled to have you with us today. We wanted to offer an opportunity for you to get to know us a little bit. I am Dr. Tammy Hartman, the director of PPS, and my esteemed colleague.
I am Barbara Beeman, Coordinator of Special Education.
So we wanted to offer this webinar as an opportunity, as I said, for you to get to know us a little bit more, get to know our philosophy a little bit more as we work with each of you to help support your students. Um, just to let you know a little something about myself, if you didn't get it in the letter, my doctorate is in educational psychology. I've been in special education for over 25 years and never wanted to leave it. It's certainly my passion. So I have worked in a variety of districts from the lower socioeconomic status to the higher socioeconomic status, predominantly as a school psychologist and then within administration for a number of years now, working to support students. On a personal note, I have 5 children of my own, all at in the teenager stage, which makes it so much fun. And thrilled to be able to work with you and your child or children. Barbara?
Well, it's certainly been my pleasure to join the Trumbull Public School System over the last 4 years to serve as the coordinator of special education directly at the high school. And due to some unfortunate but necessary budgetary cuts, we have consolidated the 2 coordinator positions, the position that was formerly occupied by Maureen Steinberg as a K through 8 coordinator, and then with me at the high school and post high school. It is now 1 position. I'm certainly glad to come on board here at Long Hill just late this summer and really begin my work as a district coordinator when Dr. Hartman came on board. So glad to support in whatever way I can. The heart of my work, my background, even though I was here in Trumbull as a high school person, the heart of my work is really at the elementary level, opening up Westport's 5th elementary school as an administrator there and serving as a regular education teacher. So glad to be here and glad to support Dr. Hartman.
So our agenda today, in addition to getting to know both Barbara and I do have a small presentation that just kind of outlines in a rough way special education, particularly in Trumbull. And then what we would like to do is open up a chat. There is a Q&A where you can ask questions. And both Barbara and I would be very happy to answer those questions and see if there's anything further you would like to know from us. So I am going to share my screen with you, hopefully. And if you can let me know when it's up so you folks can see it. And I think it's up. I see Barbara shaking her head, so thank you. So just to let you know a little something about the team, is myself as a director of people personnel, and Barbara is a coordinator of special education. We also have department chairs at the high school, at the middle school as well, both middle schools. We also have a department chair, Ms. Deborah McGrath, who is part of the alternative programs, which includes our REACH program, which is a highly specialized program. And then we have Lee Westberg, who is the chair for the BCBAs, as well as our highly specialized SRP program, which supports a number of our students who have autism. So that is our team. Barbara, did I miss anything, or is there anything more with that?
We also have team leaders supporting the specialized areas of speech and language, school psychology, and we have an OT and PT person as well.
Thank you. So our vision for special education is we really want to meet each student where they are cognitively, academically, socially, emotionally, behaviorally. We want to look at the whole child. It's not just about a piece of your child, it's the whole of your child. We want to provide excellent instruction to help students grow and meet their potential to the level of their ability, and that requires much individualization. In addition, we want them to be independent learners so they can succeed in a general education setting. You may have heard many of us talk about the least restrictive environment, and that's what it's all about, because the more your children are with their peers, and as to the extent possible, the more they're going to be able to succeed, particularly post-high school. And then there's also, we want to do supporting and partnering with parents through the process. In the opportunities that I've had to work with some parents, I am doing a lot of dialoguing in regards to the importance of having a very strong collaborative relationship between the parents and the school, because in my mind, that is when the child wins the most. The more we collaborate, the more we work more closely together, the more the child is able to succeed and do well. Barbara, would you like to do the next step or the next slide?
Sure. So as many of you know, we have really excellent staff and services. And I think that was the first thing that I told Dr. Hartman when coming on board, that I can't imagine a more dedicated, more knowledgeable group of professionals than what lies within the Trumbull Public Schools. We have special education teachers, psychologists, social workers, speech and language pathologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, behavior analysts, also known as BCBAs, and assistive technology specialists. And a subgroup of them make up your child's PPT team, working in collaboration with you and also regular education staff.
Um, so some expertise that these professionals have in their field is, and this is particularly important for our dyslexic population, is we do have Orton Gillingham instruction, and there has been training in each of the buildings. This may be through the Wilson Reading, the foundations, or a more pure OG program. We also have classroom educators in building, which is an OG certification. From a speech and language or psychologist perspective, particularly for those with autism, we have social thinking, which is a great curriculum that's utilized and highly trained individuals. There's visualizing and verbalizing for speech and language pathologists. We do person-centered planning for our children in the high school level, and particularly elite, as well as we look for our goals post high school, looking at that. I am amazed with the in-service and training that has been occurring within the district for the dialectical behavioral therapy. Anxiety can be a very commonplace concern for a lot of students, particularly in today's current climate. And DBT is a great approach to help address that. And again, we do keep noting the BCBAs. They're an integral part of our group and who we work with. Our paraprofessionals, some of them are RBT, which is it's in line with the BCBA training. It's a behavior technician, and we train our TAs with them. And then there's also the augmentative and alternative communication that we use for speech and language or hearing issues, as well. Barbara, is there more that you wanted to add to that piece?
I don't think so. I think that was really comprehensive. Mm-hmm.
And would you like to address this one?
Sure. So as Dr. Hartman referenced, we work with you in collaboration with our PPT teams to move from a least restrictive to most restrictive environment. Certainly, first and foremost, our general education and special education consultation is very important because our goal is to have every student access the regular education curriculum to the extent possible within that environment. General education with direct in-class special education support would come next. So many of our special educators go into the general education rooms to help students successfully access what they need to do within the classroom. And that support within the classroom allows that to happen. Special education does occur within a separate room. Not for all of students' days, but for times when they need that more specialized instruction. That would be next on the list. And then, of course, our self-contained special programming does exist within the district. And certainly our SRP program, which has been successful, is an example of that. Another example would be our REACH program, and that's a program for students with emotional challenges that is run by Deb McGrath. So that's another example of a self-contained special education program within the district. If necessary, when students cannot be successful in those programs, we do have a very small percentage of students who do need a specialized program in an out-of-district school. And then very, very rarely and very occasionally, we do have the unfortunate experience of a residential program or a hospitalization. Again, our goal is to move towards the least restrictive environment at all times. And placement is visited and how services are revisited with every PPT meeting.
So the other piece that I think would be helpful to mention is many of you, or if not most or all of you, have received at this point an implementation plan for your child. This was something that was developed by the state in the light of COVID and the school closures that occurred, so that it is a way to communicate or collaborate with parents in regards to how your child's IEP will be implemented, whether or not we're fully in person, in a hybrid model, or fully remote. So services will still be provided. We are providing FAPE, but sometimes it may look a little different. It's not going to be in person, so it might be over a video. There may be some asynchronous learning, which means that this work is assigned to the student is supposed to do, and then may come back and circle back with the teacher at a later time to talk about what was done and gain an understanding of where the child is at. But essentially, it's telling you how the IEP is going to be implemented depending on the mode of learning, fully in person, hybrid, or remote. And these are being provided to you by your case manager. Is there more information, Barbara, you can think of that you'd want to share on that?
I don't think so. The only thing I would just add is that this is meant to be in collaboration with you. So if you've received your plan and have questions about it, or think that perhaps your child might benefit from instruction in a different way, it's important to share those ideas with your child's case manager or teacher if it's a related service provider.
Okay, thank you. So as I said, the presentation was short and sweet. I just wanted to give a rough overview of our philosophy and where we're at. And you know, now I would like to open it up for both Barbara and I to answer any questions that you may have. You can type them into the Q&A section, and then we would be able to see them and respond to them.
Tammy, given the small group, would it be all right if someone wanted to ask a question live, if we were able to do that?
Sure, absolutely. That might
Mr. Shin, how would they notify you to do that?
Sure. If somebody would like to speak, there's a raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. So you can press that button and we'll bring you in.
Thank you.
give it a minute to see if anyone has any questions. And I, I think I speak for Barbara as well as myself. We both very much have an open door policy. We find the communication with the parents is extraordinarily important. If you ever have any questions or concerns, obviously we encourage you to talk with the individuals at the school who are going to know your child the most. But we are here to support as well, always. Well, I'm not sure that there are any questions, so I think at this point, I would like to thank those of you who did attend our meeting and greet session. We're thrilled to have you with us. I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving, and I am just thrilled to be part of the Trumbull community and really look forward to our working relationship going forward. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.